All signs point to him being the killer. Soon the man in black got into the car. The two men noticed that he was taking pictures on his mobile phone. Mike concluded that he was reporting information to his accomplice. This time they had committed a ruse.
你个臭流氓，你是不是拍我女朋友了啊？我让你拍了吗？
The man in black couldn't give him his backpack so easily, so once again they tangled and fought. But even though he was wrongly accused of being a hooligan, no one on the bus reached out to help Mike. All the men did was take pictures from the sidelines. Mike is, not surprisingly, knocked to the ground again. But then an accident happened. The man in black suddenly had an asthma attack. The lady decided he should have had his medicine with him, but Annie went to look for the keys. The man in black was still guarding his backpack, and just then, he reached into his backpack, and the next second there was an explosion, and then the 14th cycle began. So it was him. They think he must have been terminally ill, and he wanted to get back at society. Mike thumps his leg. Why didn't they stop him before he got in the car? At this point they finally understood. The next thing they knew, they were planning their move. Annie blocked the door to keep him out of the car, and Mike gets out the back door. Then they sneak up behind him. He grabbed him by the hand and subdued him. Annie quickly opened his backpack. She thought she'd done her job, but who knew there was no bomb in the backpack? It was just a cat.
哎呀，有病吧你！
After all that work, it turns out there's been a mistake. The two men found the cat. Then they apologized to him. And the next thing you know, the bus explodes. This meant they saved Jack's life. The two men left in a hurry so that there would be no dispute. Only Jack was left standing there. But before they could get very far, they realized that he could be pulled into the loop because Annie had saved Mike's life. And then Mike had entered the cycle. But Mike made a lot of excuses because he didn't want anyone else to join them. Mike seemed to have fallen in love with Annie. He didn't want anyone else to steal his thunder. And that's when Jack goes to the scene of the accident, only to find that it was the same bus he had been on. Thinking back to the strange behavior of the two men just now, he seemed to realize that Mike and the others were not ordinary people. By the end of the night, Annie spent all her money. Then they watched a live stream. It so happened that the man's friends were remembering him. The two of them were quite moved, decided to visit the scene. Maybe they could also learn about other passengers. The man's final video is still advocating for people to take public transport. The irony is, the bus took their lives instead. Just then, Jack suddenly came over. He asked why they were going through his backpack. It seems that Jack will join the team after all, but how will the two explain to him, and whether Jack had joined the cycle too?